I do not have a lot of time on this, but I guess I should get some more time after this. But they're doing something with the computer, so I don't know how long I'm gonna have to wait. Anyway, I guess I'll try and get this over with quick, under 7 minutes. Now for the Wii. The Wii is very controversial. I'll go out and say I do like the Wii, though it is very flawed. For one thing, motion controls. They never really worked that well. Motion controls have never been perfect. Now, for some games it's fine, but other games I'm just, and I just like a normal controller better. Now, there's the nunchucks thing, but it's just, it's not that great. So I gladly, it's good that you can use the GameCube controller for most games that I own, so that's at least something. But, motion controls is a complaint I have with this, and they're really lackluster. And I actually never used, I only used the Wii Motion Plus, like, at friends' houses or whatever. I never actually owned a Wii Motion Plus, so I will say I like that you can play GameCube games. And the Virtual Console is, great. The games you can get on it, there's a big list of games you can get on it, some really fantastic. And there's also, like, I don't know why they didn't carry over the Virtual Console from the Wii to the Wii U. That's just stupid. Why did you do... Oh. That right there is the best part of the Wii right there, is the Virtual Console is great. Especially, like, some retro games I actually got into due to, the WiiWare, and I actually downloaded the original Super Smash Bros. Because of the Virtual Console. Meanwhile, WiiWare, the less we say that... WiiWare, the only two games I really bothered for WiiWare is Pokemon Rumble, which is a fantastic game, and anyone who says WiiWare is crap, at least get that game. That game's worth something. And then there's Sonic 4 Episode 1, which probably you all got on other consoles like PSN or Xbox Live, so... Honestly, WiiWare games have never been anything special, so I'm not even gonna bother. They're just really small, really, really meh games. I'm already mixed with Sonic 4 Episode 1 as it is, so I can't really talk about that too much. But, anyway... another thing I will say is against the Wii is more of its game library. Its game library is okay in terms of, it's good for first-party stuff, but in terms of third-party support, that's where it gets iffy. There are some third-party games that are good, like Sonic Colors, but others, not so much. Most of it is just shovelware, and there's a lot of shovelware. With the Wii, it is really apparent is that there's a lot of shovelware on its game library, and that is its biggest problem. Is that its game library, third-party wise, the third-party games with few exceptions, but they're very few and far between. You gotta really look for a good third-party game on the Wii. You gotta really look. You got really, really look through all the shovelware that's there. And that is the Wii's main problem, is that, despite being a family-oriented console for families, it really doesn't have a lot of games that, parents and stuff, just, that is just, oh, and I really hate how it was trying to go to the casual crowd. That kind of really annoyed me. But, it's just, stick with the hardcore gamers. It's alright if you want to go to the casual crowd with, like, a certain game or whatever, but you still gotta make something for, like, the hardcore gamers. It's just, it's, two biggest problems. Shovelware, motion controls. Those are its two biggest flaws right there. And the fact that it's not an HD console just makes it look really... Like, Nintendo really needed to catch up, which is why I'm glad they made the Wii U, even though the Wii U is pretty much a 360 with, which is a bit bigger of a powerhouse, and is, the Wii U is obviously more powerful than an Xbox 360 and even a PS3, but, still, it's better than, like, the Wii wasn't even an HD console. That was kind of upsetting because of the fact that Nintendo when people say they like sticking to the past, I don't really say, I kind of say that, Nintendo's fine, it's just that, but with the Wii, I can sort of agree with them with that, because this is a time where we have HD consoles, and the fact that your console wasn't HD just made you look, I don't want to say bad, but it really just, it was apparent, and that was, and shit, my battery's running out. Darn it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back for the last 5 minutes. But, it's just back to the point where the Wii's not an HD console. And, it's just, Also, I know I'm not a bitch sucker for online, but the online on the Wii was, besides Mario Kart Wii, I really can't think of a game where online was that big of a deal. And even then, when it was, like, Brawls Online was probably, I actually suffered through that and had input lag up the ass. Even if you have the best possible connection, you will still suffer at least, like, 2 or 3 second input lag in Brawl. That is just one of the worst, that's probably the worst experience. I first was going to say one of the worst. No, it is the worst online I have ever experienced with Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Oh my god. It's like they put it in the game itself, put it in the online mode, exclusively for the online mode. That really fucks me up in Brawl. Yeah, I think the only reason people play online in Brawl is just because it's the only one with the option. Wii U, you better have really freaking spectacular online with, Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. Both systems, spectacular online. Do it. God, Nintendo. And it's like, Nintendo sometimes acts like online doesn't exist. I kind of noticed that at this point. Like, hell, the new Mario game, it's going to be multiplayer or whatever. The new 3D Mario game, it's not even going to have online mode. Why? Why didn't Sonic Lost World have online multiplayer? It had multiplayer. I'll give you props for one thing. Local multiplayer is always amazing with Nintendo games. In fact, that's one thing that kind of is another complaint with the PS3 and 360 with me, mostly for shooter games, is like some people just completely forget about local multiplayer. Like Transformers War for Cybertron, Transformers Fall for Cybertron. No local multiplayer in that game whatsoever. May I ask why? Why forget about local multiplayer? Just put a split screen mode in there. You can do it. Even if it's only up to 2 players or up to 4 players, you can do it still. It really annoyed me. It's just, I don't want to just pass the controller whenever we beat a level or whenever we die. No, what I want to do is I want to play alongside my friend, whether it be teaming up or versing him or whatever. It's just, the local multiplayer on these systems is still okay enough. There are games with local multiplayer. Like, that's one thing I will say Halo Reach does well, is the local multiplayer still works well. But with some games like maybe have one mode for local multiplayer. Some games don't even have any, like Transformers War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron. They completely skipped out on local multiplayer, and that was a missed opportunity. In fact, my throat's getting a bit sore due to talking too much. One thing that they should do with online mode is have 2 people or more, like 4 players, can play up to local multiplayer while online. That's one thing they should do, and they never ever took advantage of that. But with Nintendo, it's a bit different. Local multiplayer is always a thing, even on the Wii U. I will say, Nintendo, get with the memo online. Do it. It isn't that hard. I've seen many people do it. It's not that hard if everybody else is doing it. But anyway, yeah, Wii's Online, not very good. Local multiplayer has always been a thing with Nintendo. They always love getting people together and letting them sit together and play video games together. And that was always a good thing about Nintendo. But, yeah, it's just, it's online. Despite me not dabbling into it that well often, it's just online. No. I've heard Mario Kart Wii's Online is good, but never tried it, so. And I even heard it can be hacked, so, yeah. That's another thing. The Wii's Online can be hacked very easily. I've seen it happen many times. So, yeah. Yeah, I pretty much got the motion controls out of the way. I can't really talk about the Wii Motion Plus since I never really owned it. Though, from what I have used it for, it does make the motion controls a bit more accurate, so there's that, I guess. My favorite game would be for it is obvious. It's Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That's my favorite Wii game, and it's my favorite game this generation. I will say is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Despite me bitching about the online mode earlier, it is my favorite game this gen. It's the game I spent the most time on. So, but yeah, you know the Wii. It's not as good as the other consoles. I'll admit it right now. I think the PS3 is the best console this gen. That is my thing for it. If you have a different opinion, by all means share it. We can't share video game responses anymore. Thanks, YouTube. Google Plus is great. But yeah, share your opinions. You know, PS3 is my favorite console. My favorite game this gen is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Overall, this generation I thought was really good. I still thought, you know, despite its faults, it was still very, very fun. And the games I have are great. And so, yeah. All three consoles had their ups and downs, but they were still really good overall, and, well, yeah, that's pretty much my whole stipulation for it. So, yeah, I'm the C-Man 25, signing out. See ya.